Jeff, someone wants to know, what is your favorite song for 2011 and why?
By faith. I don't know if I can tell you. It was the first one that I wrote in this group, and well, my mother's diagnosed on September 2nd, and she kept having to go in and out of the hospital, and I couldn't, actually had more time this year than normal. I actually had about a month, and the first couple weeks I couldn't write it. I just couldn't get any ideas. I didn't have time, and one night she was in the hospital. She was asleep, and they're just giving us no hope. There's just not one good report in the whole diagnosis, and so I wrote that chorus, by faith I believe in things I cannot see. By faith I cling to the hope that Jesus gives me. By faith I say there's a miracle around the bend, so I set my face against the wind and live by faith. And I felt like that's where I was. I was having to set my face against the wind of the circumstance that was hitting me so hard in the face, and going, no matter what, you're still good, and I got to stand on what I know about you, even though I'm in this dark place. I felt like I was in this pit. I've never felt so low in a pit. When my dad passed, I still had my mom, but this was a different level. And I remember waking up in the middle of the night. I had worked on that chorus, and I laid on the couch, and later that night I woke up, and I felt the Lord say, "I'm down here. I'm with you." And I'd always looked at I've always thought about like the Lord reaching down to pull me up out of a pit, out of a place. But I'd never had that picture in my mind of the Lord just being down there with me, saying, "I'll be here with you till we can come up together," So anyway, so that one's really special to me, and I wrote it as kind of a victory song, it's real energetic, and because that's what we have to choose. We have to choose that joy and that hope and that peace, even when we don't feel it. You do it. So.
One of the questions is, exactly why do we put so much motion to our songs? Isn't it enough just to sing the song without the motion?
And I have some children's choir directors that say, children don't sing when they do motions. Well, I'm like, I have to tell you that's not true, because I've seen that proven wrong. For me, I want the motions to mean something. They're going to demonstrate the word. Or I felt when I first started writing the music that the Lord had given me a mandate of two things. That there should always be a ballad in the group of songs, and that I should use a lot of sign language. And I've learned a ton through the years. I knew none when I started, but I've learned a lot. But I think it just solidifies the words, when they have emotion. Because when I'm teaching the songs to the kids, like if I'll say, what line is this, and I'll do that motion, and they'll say it. But I've just seen it really be a strong way to reinforce the song.
I've been a part of all 15 years of themes, not here as an employee of LifeWay, but working in my church, part of the themes, and the music comes back very quickly. I forget it kind of momentarily, but I'll hear something from Mount Extreme, and all of a sudden the songs come back. But the scariest moment I think I've ever had connected with Vacation Bible School music is one night, about 3 or 4 months ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was doing the motions to Wiki Wiki. It's bad enough to wake up singing Wiki Wiki, but when you're doing the motions in the middle of the night, it's like maybe I need a break.
Yeah.
But
well, you know what? I tell people all the time, when babies first start learning how to walk and they hear music, what do? They start doing this. And there's that scripture, I think it's Acts 10:27, maybe 20:17, I think it's 10:27, that says, "In him we live and move and have our being." And I love that. And I think it's very important that, because so many of us when we sing, we want to move, but sometimes we get kind of bound up in ourselves. And I just want to teach kids to be free, and be uninhibited before the Lord and give him extravagant praise. And if you want to move, move. And if you don't want to, do that, but just freedom to worship how you want to. And I feel like doing the motions kind of breaks the ice for them to move into that place.
We've been asked what happens at a VBS preview event, and Jeff's a part of those events as well. In January of this year, January of 2011, we will have 5 national preview events. We will have 1 at Ridgecrest, North Carolina, 2 in Fort Worth, Texas, and 2 here in the LifeWay building. All 5 of those take place in January. Very quick, speedy month for us. We go to bed around the 1st of January and feel like we wake up February 1st because it's so fast. Traveling, sitting everything up, doing it, tearing it down. But what happens during those events is that we have church leaders from all across the country come to experience the New Vacation Bible School theme. They get to look at the sets. They get to talk to the people who create those sets. They get to learn how to make them themselves. They get to come and meet Jeff. That's always a big thing. I'll never forget the first year where people were lined up to get your autograph, and I tried to give them mine, and they didn't want that. But anyway, I don't know what time. I went to bed about midnight, and the line was still out the door. I don't know what time you got to go to bed that night. But they get to meet Jeff, but not only meet him, he teaches them the songs and why he put certain movements with the songs to make it a little clearer. We also have a variety of enrichment or training sessions. I think this next year there's going to be close to 50 different topics that people have an option to choose from. We bring some of the very best VBS leaders from across the nation to be a part of our leadership team. And of course, we bring our editorial team and our VBS publishing management team to be a part of it, and all their wealth of knowledge as they work with kids every day in their own churches and teach Vacation Bible School, but also as they work with the curriculum 12 months out of the year, and they're there to share that as well. It is just filled with sights and sounds, and you get to make the snacks and you get to make crafts, and it's just a fun event. We pack a lot of stuff into 24 hours. Including a couple hours maybe to sleep. But we hope you will consider being a part of our preview events for 2011. All the information is already online at lifeway.com/VBS preview, I believe, or just preview. I'm not sure on that. But anyway, we would love for you to be a part of that. Jeff, this is a question I think we both can answer, and it says, what is the best way to follow up after Bible school? And one of the things that we know through talking to VBS leaders, over 3,000 VBS leaders, we ask, what is your greatest need? And 96, 97% said their greatest need was help with follow-up. Vacation Bible School continues to be one of the best ways to reach unchurched. But sad to say, a lot of us as VBS leaders have no clue what to do with those people once we have discovered them. And of course, we say the best way is anything other than nothing. Get out there and do something. But you know, you may have an idea. How can people, or how have you heard churches following up that have been very effective?
You know, I'm traveling a lot of different churches all the time, and I mean, I just think, you know, the best thing is always, you know, the way Jesus did it was just relationship. Once you've established that relationship with those kids, you know, keep reaching out to them and keep driving home those messages and the thing, you know, think about what was it that drew them here, you know, and capitalize on those kind of things. But, you know, I think just people want to be loved. Kids want to be loved. If you're listening to them and loving on them, that's what I found that they respond to the most, you know, because for me, as you know, 45-year-old guy that they still think is cool and want to worship with me, that to me that's just a miracle. I mean, only the Lord could do that. That they get excited about coming to camp with me. But that's just what I've learned. I listen to them. I don't treat them like they're too young to understand things. I talk to them. I felt the Lord tell me years ago, talk to them like they're your friends. Treat them like they're your friends. Build that relationship. And so, you know, that week of VBS, you don't have a lot of time to do that, but, you know, do what you can with divine appointments that the Lord gives you, and then continue reaching out, because it is it's an amazing week. And that family night when so many parents are coming that would never come in the door, you know, and if you've made that relationship with that kid, then go to those parents, you know, and just keep reinforcing that.
You know, I think maybe the most important aspect of follow-up is to begin planning follow-up from the beginning. So often we get all excited about the decorations and everything about Vacation Bible School, and then the week of Bible School happens, and then the week of Bible School is over with, and we just want to throw everything in the closet and take a deep breath and say, that's over with. But we know that unless we plan from the beginning that we're going to do follow-up and do it well, it doesn't get done. Well, you know, we are so excited that you've been a part of this day. Jeff just came back from New York yesterday. He was up there actually filming some of the things for VBS 2011 that you'll see later. And so we are glad that he was able to catch a plane, get down here, catch a breath, and join us for this time together. But we are truly glad that you have joined us both here in our live audience and the hundreds of you all across the country. I even know of some people in South Africa that have joined us for this. And so awesome. We are excited that you care enough about Vacation Bible School and reaching boys and girls and teenagers and adults with the gospel message of Christ to take time today, here in the summer of 2010, to prepare for the summer of 2011. We appreciate all you do. We thank you, and we ask God's blessing on you. Have a good day.
Love you guys. Blessings on you.